I understand a lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high functioning.
What situation?
See my situation? That's a very vague question, and it's for you
what
to
situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high functioning?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning.
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from this. Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yes, more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I just want God
about
to
your
bring
wife?
him. I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active, okay? So you're creating, and disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's topic, we're going to be discussing more about this broken homes issue that we've been having. A lot of people on social media are blaming the men, while a lot of people are also blaming the women. I think both parties are honestly responsible for what happened. A lot of people just aren't on the same page with their partners in general. So let's get more into this topic on why creating broken homes is an issue.
I'm gonna be honest, it's not a hard concept to understand that if you as a man, you have a child with someone, or you have 8 kids with 3 or 4 different baby mamas, and then you still want to get married to someone that is not one of the parents to your child, it is not hard to understand that yes, that is technically a broken home. It's not hard. We as men talk about how important it is that kids have their fathers in their life, but then when we talk about a broken home, all of a sudden we're like, no, it's not a broken home because I provide for my kids financially, provide for my baby mamas, I give my baby mamas homes, I give my baby mamas money. As we all know, there is so much more to being a father than just providing shelter, providing finances, and being there for your kids some of the time. First off, if you have 8 kids by different women, there's no way you can be there for all those kids equally. You will spread yourself thin. You will have to miss some occasions, especially during graduation season. What about those nights where you want to be with dad because you had a bad dream? What about those nights where you want to come home for school or wait for dad to come home and tell them how great your dad was, but your child can't do that because dad's with his other family? I understand I'm not a father. I understand that I'm not a parent, but I understand where that therapist was coming from, and she was more than right. There's so many things, little microscopic things that you can miss if you have a bunch of different kids by a bunch of different women that your money, your resources will never be able to fix within that child.
The reason why Cam Newton thinks like that is because he's allowed to think like that. Hear me out. I'm so grateful that that doctor clocked what he thought was such a elevated, awakened response. But here's the truth. Cam Newton can't have 8 children from 3 different women if women don't allow Cam Newton to procreate with them without commitment. And I know the Bible says these things and we believe, always just trying to restrict. Sometimes, guys, the Bible really just be trying to protect us from ourselves. Not to say that things can't happen after you get married. However, both parties can pay a price. It won't just fall on one party. And just like the doctor said, you can't be a full-time daddy to all three at the same time. Somebody's going to pay the price of your absence. And so my prayer is that we as women, it's not our faults, number one, but let's not be so mesmerized with the payday and the payout that we don't require more from men, especially like Cam Newton, that can give us more, but don't, because they know that we will settle for the coin and the baby.
Not only have you had 9 months, but you've had 6 extra months on top of that, because Amara is now 6 months old, to help out. You haven't once.
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. You said
In the last video, we reviewed more on Nick Cannon and his stupidity when he sat down with the doctor and exposed himself. Now it's Cam Newton's turn. This whole thing is irritating to me because there's a lot of things that money can pay for and money can buy, like experiences, comfortability, security, luxury things. But money cannot buy the absence of a parent. It can't. Like, even kids who grew up with money, who had both their parents in their lives that were not active, their kids even turned out wrong too, just like well, not wrong, that's not good to say, but with a internal struggle that is very apparent to the outside world. For example, Ti and Tiny's son King, his parents were, both artists doing their own thing, traveling the world. He was raised by his grandmother, and it's very apparent how he's showing out right now. He wants to be just like his dad. He's screaming for attention. He's screaming for attention. This is something, honestly, this is why you see a lot of these women on Instagram sitting on the sink in a thong, because they really want attention. It's like they are always longing for it. And Cam Newton has eight kids. That's terrible, in different time zones, by different women with different beliefs and different communities and different nationalities, ethnicities. He has been so blind to his life decisions, all because he has money. He feels like it's fine. It's fine. I can crap on a plate and slap it up against the wall because I got money. You know?
This man got on the podcast, looked this woman dead in the eye, and said, I'm not creating broken homes. I'm doing the best I can with what I was given. Sir, life is not a card game where somebody handed you cards. You literally made choices and decisions that got you to the place that you're in, that got these women and these children in the place they're in. But here's a part of the conversation I'm not really hearing anybody talk about. Is that the idea that both these men, Nick Cannon and Cam Newton, can behave and operate in this way is based on the belief that what is required of a man to be a father is far less than what is required of a woman to be a mother. I was having a conversation with a friend who happens to be a man a few months back when Nick Cannon first did his interview. And I made the statement that it's not possible that he be a successful father to 10 plus children. And my friend was arguing me down. We don't know how he provides and what he does for these kids. We don't know their living situation. I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if all those kids live in the house with him. It doesn't matter if they all live with their moms and he picks one day a week to go spend with all of them and he rotates. It doesn't matter. It's not possible for him to be a good father to 10 plus children. Hell, it's hard for parents to be a good father to 1 kid, to 2 kids, to 3 kids, and be present, living in the house, married to the mom. It's not humanly possible for him to be a good father. And my friends arguing me down. We don't know this and we don't know that. And I said, okay, do you think a woman can be a good mother to 10 children? And he paused. And so now we're looking at each other. And that's the problem. The problem is the expectation of what it looks like for a woman to be a mother is held at such a high regard that we go, of course she can't be a good mother to 10 kids, especially if she's a single mom, because she's a single mom, so she must be a whore. Don't let them all have different daddies. Then she's a whore to the 10th power. But a man can be a father to 10 children, and we think it's reasonable that he could potentially be a decent father to all 10 of them because the expectation of what a man looks like as a father is so low. The bar is so low that we think because he can afford them, then he must be a good father. Because he can afford a nanny, because he can afford to buy each mother a house and a car, then he must be a good father. And that's what we need to reckon with. We need to reckon with this idea that what we require of men is not partnership. It's help. Even Cam says that. I don't want to call the mother of my children single mothers because that assumes that I don't help them. That's the problem. Is you're showing up as help. And help assumes that the responsibility belongs to the other person and that as a courtesy, you are showing up to help. That's not partnership. That is not an equal distribution of labor. I don't need your help. You need to participate because it's the right thing to do because your children require it, not because I need help. Y'all tell me what you think.
Do not sell marijuana to my husband.
Okay.
About a ring and being married, that shit don't stop neither. All that do is just make it harder for you to break up with somebody. Cause now y'all gotta go to court. That's all that do. Don't make nothing. Like, I had my baby for me. My babies came from me. Cause I wanted my babies, not to keep them around. So don't ever get it twisted. Don't act like, oh, she's just stuck. I ain't stuck. I'm rich. Buka. Yeah, then especially when you have a little girl, you just be like, oh, no, I'm not dealing with that type of shit. I ain't downplay marriage, but y'all act like marriage is everything. You can break up when you married, too. You can break up when you in a relationship. You can break up when you're not in a relationship. So you can break up at any time. I just hate how y'all just make it seem like that's the way of life.
I said it before, I'll say it again. Y'all keep talking about how, well, it's going to make her happy. It does not matter what makes her happy. What about a child? Is that going to make the child happy? A child will never ever choose, I only want my mom or I only want my dad. They want mommy and daddy. And for some reason, in the Black community, we find any way to make it okay. We find any way to not put our kids first, right? Because the selfish thing is when it's about, it's what I want, it's what I want. That's the selfish act. Well, I want a baby because I want one. Forget what my kids want. Forget what my kids need. It's about what I want. And that is not in the best interest of your child. And then we downplay marriage, but she touched on saying how when you have a daughter, you don't tolerate that nonsense. Why didn't you think about that said daughter before you got pregnant? To teach her that you don't lay down with a man who didn't choose to marry you first. Because we hustling backwards. You're thinking about her after, but you didn't think about your kids before. Make it make sense. We have to stop this nonsense. We have to stop trying to normalize this stuff, and we have to stop being selfish as mothers and think about what our kids need, because our kids deserve a 2-parent household. Our kids deserve mommy and daddy in the home, loving each other. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we have to stop trying to make stuff make sense. That just doesn't. It don't make sense. Too many of us were brought up in homes where it was just your mom, your mom complaining about your dad. It's toxic. And it's unfortunate that we also think because somebody has money, that's going to raise a child. Money don't raise kids. It doesn't. Money does not raise your child. It can give them resources and things like that, but it will never replace a father. You have kids as a family. You have kids because you want to together raise 2 amazing human beings. Not because you want it to be like a little pocketbook. You have this baby because it's like another little handbag. No, not at all. We have to stop. It's foolish. It really is.
As a recruiter myself, I can just see it so clearly. Women are interviewing men and they're not asking them the right questions. They're not making sure they meet the requirements and they're still giving them the job. So you have this man with a job title that's higher than his actual skill set. And then you wonder why you have to carry his extra burden. And he's still not going to make you his wife. And now you're doing wifely duties, making sure that y'all are a family, quote unquote. And you're not even his wife. Like, and then another reason why I don't think single women with no children should be dating baby daddies, because as you can see that lady in the other video, my man, like joking around because her baby daddy has a new girlfriend. Like, she always has access to him. She will always feel like she can pull the strings and be the reason if your relationship is tumultuous or not. You have no idea. A lot of these women still have hope that they are going to be this man's wife. They just feel like, okay, he's just going through a phase. He coming back home. He always come home. You just don't know them people dynamics. Stay out of their business. Because half of the women in that relationship don't even know their own dynamics with their baby daddy. So just leave them alone completely. People like men like Cam Newton and Nick Cannon and all these other rappers, these men are sick.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
One of the biggest reasons that I won't have children before marriage is because I am not going to sign up to be committed to this man forever if he has not already signed up to being committed to me forever. I also trust myself deeply to vet the man that I am married to. So if he hasn't been around long enough for me to be married to him, he definitely hasn't been around long enough for me to have a child with him. I consider having a child with me a massive privilege, and I also take the responsibility of furthering a bloodline of somebody else as an honor, and I take it very seriously, and I will not be furthering any man's bloodline. I will not be giving somebody the honor of having their children be raised by me, who will be like the best mother in the entire world, and I will not give somebody the honor of sharing DNA with me in a child, and I just won't do it because I respect myself so much and I see myself so much as sacred. This is how I personally view it. So I view myself in that such high esteem that I will not just allow any man to have a child with me. He absolutely must be my husband. And if he's my husband, I know he's a wonderful man because I trust myself to vet a wonderful man.
My man. Don't play. Don't play. Come on, baby. Don't do that. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Don't do me like that. I love you. Don't pose that bullshit.
Will kids ruin your relationship? I'm a straight shooter, as you know, so I'm going to give it to you straight. If you thought you were exhausted and stressed out before kids, after kids, it's downright chaotic. There are so many more household chores, laundry, dishes, cleaning up. When you have kids, self-care can go out the window and you're running on fumes. This creates tension and can have increased bickering and snapping at each other. You're in survival mode. Also, your time as a couple has now turned into time as a family. And because there's less alone time for you, it often leads to disconnection. But children do not ruin relationships. Children are fantastic and they're life-changing in the best way. But it can be tough and stressful, and that's the truth. If you would like some remedies to this, let me know and I'm happy to post.
Okay, so I just have to say it. The one thing that I truly miss when it comes to my boyfriend before we had kids is the ability to just go somewhere together with no kids, or not having like the other person stay home to watch the kids, because that's all it is now. If we have to like go to the grocery store, or like I have an errand to run, or he has an errand to run, it's like, okay, like who's taking a kid, who's staying home with the kid? We have 4, so it's always okay, like if we don't have to make it a big family ordeal, we won't, and one of us will just stay home with the kid. Like, I miss the intimacy of going out with my boyfriend and like being out in the world with my boyfriend. And like, don't get me wrong, like I love my babies and like we'd obviously do whatever it takes to, you know, make everything run smoothly. But damn, like I see couples out doing things and I'm just like, oh, like I can't wait to get there again. Like, I miss him.
Because in this clip, the woman behind me talks about the harsh reality of being a single mother. Check this out.
I'm going to be aggressive because nobody wants to hear this, because what you want me to say today is actually being a single mother is totally possible. It actually isn't. It was never meant to happen for the human race, number one. Number two, single biggest determiner of whether a mother is a good mother, what do you think it is? This is going to blow your mind when I tell you the answer. Whether they have a supportive partner. The major argument for good dads is actually, can the dad be there for the mom? Because it's like a direct chain is what we see What you see is that if you've got a father figure, basically, who's supportive to the mother's energy goes towards the children. But the second that she doesn't have that supportive energy, she collapses, is what happens. And then the kids get starved. And we're not actually supposed to be living in a single family household, so it's supposed to be a lot more support towards mom than just dad. But I'm going with standard societal structure. You are a victim of a society that was never meant to work this way.
Bro, being a single mom is literally the hardest shit ever. Like, you cannot do anything. I literally got like one side of my weights racked at the gym because I tried to work out, and they're calling me over the intercom to come get him literally after 5 minutes because he don't want to be with anybody but me because I'm the only person with him. But you literally just can't do anything. I'm literally so exhausted from work like 90% of the time, so I don't ever get to do like a good like real workout. And I got up trying to do a workout this evening and he don't even want to go to the kids club. This is like the third time I've tried to take him. He does not like to be with strangers. So it just makes it hard because I can't do anything. The only time I have help is when I'm working. But I can't ever do anything for myself. And the other parent just gets to do whatever they want. Literally whatever. You can go hang out with your friends. You can work out. You can complain about how tired you are. But like, look at my life. Like, look what I have to do every single day. I hate even complaining about this because my mom helps me a lot. And I have a nanny for my son twice a week. But that's while I'm working. I'm working 24/7. As an entrepreneur, my brain is in work mode 24/7. And I only have physical help while I'm working.
As you can see, that lady is on the brink. She's on the edge and her nerves are shot. Emotionally, she's drained. She's probably sleep deprived, overworked. Like, money can't just take that away from her. She needs actual help. Yes, you can buy a nanny and stuff like that, but men like Nick Cannon and Cam Newton that have a lot of money, best believe they're not just dishing it out. They are not just dishing it out. A lot of the women that Nick Cannon had kids with, they were saying they don't even get an allowance. A couple of them just did it because their minds were somewhere else. Like, these men will leave you to do the work and you're going to feel it every single day. Ask women in the comments. I'm sure they will let you know. For the women who have not had kids yet, do not think that you're supposed to just have kids because y'all been together for 2 years and it's boring. That's not how that works. That is absolutely not how that works. You're going to be in the world of hurt if that is your angle. Don't even get me started on the men that gaslight. Oh, don't put me on child support. I don't have to be because I give the money that I'm supposed to. I do what I'm supposed to do. Put him on child support because that $200 that he's sending you, you won't know until you go to court that it should be 600. Don't be like, "Oh, I'm fine." No, you're taking from your kids. It's not even your money to turn away or not. A lot of these men, they run from the government because the government is going to hold them accountable. Put them on child support. Like, that is what they're supposed to be doing, the very, very bare minimum. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. If you've experienced anything like this, definitely give your testimony in the comments. We're trying to save the girlies who, haven't had their womb used, okay? We're trying to save them before it gets to this point so that they don't have to be crying in the car and wondering why and still waiting 6 years with 2 kids hoping they're going to be a wife until he gets up and does the next thing with someone else, across town. So let me know what you think in the comments. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.